All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here. And it's Halloween content. I'm going to be talking about Neil Young, who looks and sounds pretty scary these days. So, see how that works, huh? All right, doing what I do. This is just stuff writes itself, okay? Doing what I do in real time for a few real people just like you and just like me. I have to do this once. Boo! All right. Hopefully I scared you. All right, don't forget, I'm not afraid of coffee, so buy me a coffee if you like the content here. If you are truly scared, if this scares you, which it might, I mean, just me being here might be scary, but I think I'm going to use Neil Young in the thumbnail. And then, again, if you really want to scare your neighbors, right, get your kids a Neil Young Halloween mask. I think that would be super scary. So here's the headline from various classic rock media outlets. Never one to shy away from making a political statement. What's weird is they get all mad at me for injecting politics or faith or whatever into my content. But the rock media, they just love when certain people start putting out political content. Never one to shy away from making a political statement. By the way, the headline is Neil Young's latest video is ripped from the headlines. It's ripped. It's ripped from the headlines. Ripped, torn. There was a guy by the name of Rip Torn. I think he was an actor or a comedian. I can't remember, but great name. So the video, which is out there on the Neil Young Archives website. Now, why is it there? Well, I guess it can't be on Spotify. It can't be on Amazon because Neil Young doesn't like those people. Doesn't like Spotify because of Joe Rogan, who's putting out mis and disinformation about the safety of these products that are being recommended to old people like Neil Young. And of course, Jeff Bezos apparently wants to make money. So he's teamed up with the Orange Man, and that's bad. So he's an oligarch all of a sudden. He wasn't an oligarch like 30 seconds ago, but now Jeff Bezos from Amazon, all right, I don't agree with Jeff Bezos on a lot of things, but it's just funny how they could flip a switch and go, yeah, we used to love this guy, Bezos. He owns the Washington Post, and apparently he fired a lot of people at the Post because, there's insane bias at the Post, like there is at pretty much every major newspaper here in America. All right, so I've gone down a rabbit trail. Anyway, the song is called, they say the video, As Time Explodes. Time is exploding, folks. It features an instrumental Neil Young track. So if you're worried about vocals, there are no vocals, which is probably a good thing. It's paired with footage of news reports on various current events, including the demolition of the East Wing of the White House. Can someone help me with why people are so unhinged about this? He's destroying our house. He's wrecking it. He's demolishing. I think he's going to build something better. I mean, Trump, even if you don't like Donald Trump, he builds stuff, right? And apparently he's using his own money. And when other people did stuff, right, I don't remember reading or hearing about the outrage. People have been remodeling this old house for it's our house. Why would he do this to our house? I don't know. I don't know. By the way, I mean, you should just cancel all the White House tours and stuff anyway, because you'll be in close proximity with other human beings who may be carrying dangerous pathogens. So why would you want to be in confined spaces with those people? You should be happy that you don't have to go to the White House or any other house for that matter. I mean, for the love of God, people are still outside wearing face coverings. Why? Why? Breathe in the fresh air. All right, sorry. That was kind of an unnecessary tangent, so I apologize for that. But they're so bent out of shape. He's demolishing the East Wing. President Trump accepted a plane from Qatar. They gave him a plane. Didn't cost any money. Well, so now he's going to be doing the bidding of Qatar because they gave him a plane. He's sending the National Guard to U.S. cities. This is the footage, okay? Now, where they've called out the National Guard, like in Washington, D.C., crime is like down to nothing now. Isn't that a good thing? Don't you want crime to go away? They don't want the Guard in places like Chicago and Portland because they want the crime and all the violence to continue. Their own police force, by the way, who they hate, right? They don't want them. They want to defund them or whatever. So they're not doing the job and they don't feel very appreciated. So you have to send in additional help, I guess. I don't personally think it's good to militarize everything, but if you're not going to get your own house in order, someone might come in there and fix it for you. By the way, in this video, there are also clips of billionaires like Tesla's Elon Musk. Again, Elon Musk used to be someone that was loved in the media because he's an entrepreneur. He's a nerd. He's a geek. He's inventing all this cool technology. People used to rant and rave about Teslas. Now they want to blow them up. It's just weird. We're living in weird times, people. Also featuring Tim Cook from Apple. Tim Cook? I don't know. Tim Cook is a pretty left-wing dude. I think he probably lines up with Neil Young on most things, but I think Tim Cook was spotted in the White House because, again, Tim Cook wants to make money. And, of course, they also featured Jeff Bezos from Amazon in the video. So, and look, politically speaking, I'm thinking Neil Young has probably more in common with Musk, Bezos, and Tim Cook, especially the last two guys. So it's just weird. But this is his new video. And this is a super short little article. The clip ends with footage of news coverage of the October 18th No Kings protest in various cities around the U.S., showing off many signs in the crowd. Okay? Like Bon Jovi was in the crowd at a couple of those events. Maybe Neil Young and Bon Jovi can team up and do a song. Neither of them can sing very well these days. So, just use some AI and maybe get a song together about all the evil billionaires. See, if you agree with someone, then they're not a billionaire. But if you disagree with them, all of a sudden they're an evil billionaire and you have to point out they're a billionaire over here. They're oligarchs over here. None of these folks, the politicians, the ones that stay in there for like 30, 40 years, right? Joe Biden was in there for what, like 50 plus years. They become wealthy just being politicians. That to me is far more scandalous than a guy who comes up with, I don't know, a great car or a great service like Amazon. Hey, I want something. I want a Neil Young CD. I'll have it delivered to my house today, later today. If I want it delivered, it'll show up today or at the very latest tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's not something we need, I guess. I mean, the dark side of that is people are addicted to it. And it's become fun to be, up at night, can't sleep. I think I'll scroll Amazon and have something delivered tomorrow morning. It's addictive, but people like it. And so to go after, Tim Cook from Apple and Amazon, I don't know, Neil. And then Elon, obviously, with Tesla. I don't know. I get it. It's his right. People say it's his right to say what he wants to say. And somebody will comment that on the video, and I've just said it. It is his right to say it. I'm making a statement, too. I'm saying that this is ridiculous. How's that? I mean, this White House thing is perplexing. Anyway, if you want to go and see this video called As Time Explodes, time is exploding. I didn't know that. And it is Halloween, so it is kind of scary as time explodes. You don't have to see Neil Young in the video. But the thumbnail, I think I'm going to have Neil Young and maybe some explosion in the background and maybe some spooky, scary stuff. Who knows? I'll figure it out. But you'll have to go, if you want to see this and listen to it, you'll have to go over to the Neil Young Archives website because he's shining a light on our current political climate. Very interesting. It's only one perspective, though, by the way, about our political climate. There's no other perspective coming in from the mainstream, like all of this stuff going on in the cities, the fact that we have almost 38 trillion in debt. Um, yeah, that's not really a big thing to worry about. The fact that the culture is really screwed up and kids are being encouraged to do things that are just, it's not even like I can't fathom the level and the depth that we've declined to. But I pray every day that God will set things straight. I can't do it. You can't do it. It's up to God to do it. God's in control. I'm not. So people need to realize that too. If you want to politically do stuff, that's fine. But again, don't trust in politicians. Don't trust in musicians. For God's sake, don't do that. Trust in God. That's the only thing we've got. And some will say, well, why isn't God doing X, Y, and Z? I don't know. There's a point and there's a purpose, and I don't know what it is. Especially when we're seeing all of this, I don't know what you want to call it, acrimony over things like, hey, the White House is being demolished. What are we going to do? I don't know. I don't know. Tomorrow we're supposed to have food stamp riots, so we'll see how that goes. That's another thing. All they had to do was pass a budget. They had 12 votes on this and say, yeah, we want to fund it. Nope. We want to give money instead to people who aren't from the United States. That's what we want to do. We want to give health care benefits to people who don't live in the United States legally. All right. So that's where we're at now. And we're going to have endless fights about this stuff. And I don't know the answer to any of it. I do know one thing, though, that God is in control and he's got a point and a purpose. Go back and read the Old Testament prophets when they were lamenting, like Jeremiah, right? Saying, okay, this other country is going to take you over pretty soon. You better change your ways. And they didn't. And the country came in and took them over, or an army came in and attacked them. We got to be really careful because our culture is very weak. We've got people that didn't live difficult lives and are complaining about the things that they don't have. When my relatives, my ancestors were warriors and they fought to keep America free and safe, and they were willing to sacrifice and do things that this generation doesn't even understand. Never mind would they do it. They don't even understand the sacrifice. That's why you need to teach history. So, and not only teach it, right, but maybe show a movie or an example of it. Go watch something from the World War II generation and figure out, hey, maybe we don't have it so bad. Maybe this DoorDash thing we can do without for a couple of days so we can save money and buy food. Just priorities. All right. I've gone off on many tangents here. Neil Young, though, he is doing what he normally does. He's just stirring the pot and people aren't really listening. It's just for the most part. Did I ever like Neil Young's music? I like some of it. Yeah, I like rocking in a free world, but now we're going to be rocking in a socialist world pretty soon, especially if you're living in New York City. That's great, huh? Anyway, folks, God bless. Happy Halloween. Please don't be too scared from this video. Oh, and again, if you like the content, coffee, pumpkin spice, I'm running low. I'm going to be switching over to holiday blend very soon.